Should you only be getting your horse osteopathy? I'm gonna start again.
I'm glad it's not me, just.
Should you only be getting your horse oh my god, I can't say that line.
Osteopathically
treated. Hello, this is Riding with Ree. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I am sharing my experience of having bought my first horse as an adult in Surrey alongside my career. In today's video, Woody and I have our first treatment with our new osteopath. We were lucky enough to enter a competition to win a year's sponsorship as a horse and rider team from a local osteopath, and we won the competition. So once a month we'll be working with her, both myself and Woody, to have treatments to help us perform our best and feel at our most comfortable. Let's get straight into it. So as this was mine and Woody's first time meeting Claire, the first thing we did was a walk and trot up without tacks so that she could see him moving. And then I tacked up and got ready for our ridden assessment. And it's something I try really hard to do. I've been actively trying to
I'm not here to judge your riding at all. So take a breath, relax. It's not.
Now I know it can be hard to hear what Claire's saying here, so I will make sure that the subtitles are updated properly for this video so that you can turn them on when she is speaking if you can't hear what she's saying. So if you couldn't hear Claire there, she said, "I'm not here to judge your riding. I'm just here to study the biomechanics of how you're moving, how he's moving, and figure out what's coming from him, what's coming from you, and help you both to work better together." And I think the reason she said that was that it was probably quite obvious that I was nervous. Obviously, if you've watched my channel regularly, you know that symmetry is something I've been really focused on. And I think I was kind of rolling along a bit, being like, I'm trying really hard to be neutral, and I know I'm a bit lopsided, da 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 da. And she was like, it's fine. And I think that's something that's a really key takeaway from when you do these ridden assessments with a new professional, is that they shouldn't be there to judge your riding, and they should be there to make you feel safe and confident and happy whilst you work with them, which I certainly did with Claire.
So I'm just going to touch next. So you're gripping here and then you do that. So what I want to take it down, you've got the leg really long, is you're quite tight through that hip, which is fine. So if you sit there and you just block him, you then can't take it hurts you because you'll get often a lot of lower back trouble, because you'll, rather than being able to absorb that movement through your body, you just block and it will just jar up.
I just feel like I've got such a good angle here, and there's nothing on the other side.
You're very right.
I literally, I may as well be like that, you know? And like you said, he's so sensitive to my balance.
Which is fine.
So what we'll do is we'll have a look at him first,
And then I'll get all my stuff out and we can have a look at you.
Perfect. Following on from the ridden assessment, we then went on to the actual treatment. So we started with Woody, where Claire firstly went down over his body and figured out any moments of tension or any areas of pain or soreness. And she also asked me when the last time he had his physio and other things were. He's looking around like, what's she doing?
Hi. Got a great view there.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy. Have a face like that, just I'll put it straight to the belly. Tell me if you want my hair in a bun. Oh, that's fine. Just relax your arms down. Just going to make it straight. If anything is too short at any point, or you don't like anything, please tell me, okay? I'm not here to beat you up, I'm here to make you feel better. You feel like you want to sit like that?
Yeah.
So we want to, and you're quite compressed here. Cross your legs.
Yes.
Which way do you go? Right or left? No, go right.
Must be that way. Yeah, I do this actually.
You tuck a foot quite a lot.
Yeah, I put my foot like that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like over. Yeah, I like put it like that.
And kind of want to sit like this.
Yeah.
With your back arched.
Yeah.
So obviously the first time that you meet someone who's going to be working on your body, it can feel a little bit strange and you can feel a little bit uncomfortable. I've had several different osteopaths, physios, etc. and I think it is about finding the right person. I felt very, very comfortable with Claire and she made it very clear. She asked me every time before, she was like, can I touch your arm? Can I touch your shoulder? Etc. and it made me feel very comfortable. And I also felt like I could say to her, oh, actually that hurts, or could you back off? Whereas I think sometimes when you're working with people, you feel like you can't tell them that you're in pain, or you can't tell them that that's not comfortable for you. So I think it is really important that you build up a rapport with the person that you work with so that you do feel comfortable, especially because our bodies are so personal, right? Well, Claire, thank you so much for treating Woody and I.
Pleasure.
I certainly feel like there's a lot to work on, but I feel really good about it.
Good. No, not too much to work on, just bits here and there.
Yeah.
Then we can definitely get you feeling a bit straighter and Woody a bit happier as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited to keep, I guess, sharing the progress because it's going to be pretty incredible. So a lot of you had questions for Claire, so I'm going to ask a few of them now to her. If you want to ask questions in the future, I always put them up on my Instagram as a sticker, so that's where you're going to get to ask them. Now, this one actually came up a couple of times. Do massage guns work / would you recommend them? I actually have one, so I don't use it because I'm scared, but I'm interested to hear your answer.
So massage guns, I think if we split it into horses and people, for people, I think they can be good as long as people avoid bones. The issue is if you've got a big injury or anything like that, you want to get that assessed properly by a professional before you don't use something like that. I do have some of my patients that will use them a little bit on their shoulders or particularly on their legs and their glutes. They can be great for just getting rid of a bit of tension if used correctly, which is the caveat. People use them and then they push them really hard into the muscles, and I've had patients come in with bruises and all sorts of issues as a result. So it's using them, but using them as they are prescribed, really. So I would always say you want to be using something like that. If you feel the need to use it, you probably need treating and assessing professionally, and then having that professional be able to say, okay, this is appropriate for use in this area or that area, and then going forwards. With horses, some people do use them, but I think in order for them to be effective, they would have to be going so far into the muscles, because the horse's back muscles are like this. So I think you potentially could be actually creating issues with them. And again, you would want to be working with your professionals with that point of view, either your physio, osteopath, or your vets and things. If you're using that just to gently loosen your horse off, it's probably not doing that much because they're so much bigger than we are. Our muscles are smaller, and it works by making the muscle move and vibrate, which helps to relax it. It changes basically the neurological input and helps relax everything. But with a horse, I think potentially you're risking getting kicked or actually doing more harm than good.
So the second question you asked was, should you only be getting your horse osteopathically treated if there has been an injury? And if not, how often should you be getting your horse treated?
So you can get your horse treated, obviously if it has an injury you do want to get them treated, but you can also treat them just for more of a maintenance basis. So you would be looking at little tensions or asymmetries that they're developing to try and treat them before they create a bigger problem, and to just optimize your horse's performance as well, so that they're feeling really good and feeling really loose. In terms of how often you would get your horse treated, it depends on the horse and depends on what work they're in. So
often a lot of my riders and my clients that are doing sort of lower level stuff, and they're just doing a little bit of a mix of everything, they will get it done every 3 months or so. And then more, if you're doing more with your horse, more professional level, or some people just like doing it, they've got more money to spend on it, so they do. Obviously finances come into everything. They would be sort of every sort of 6 weeks or so, sometimes every month. But it does vary rider to rider and horse to horse as well. So then I would suggest for some people to see them more often because their horse needs it, and others they could go sort of 2 or 3 months and be absolutely fine.
Okay, next question, which honestly I was also curious about before today's session. Can you do the back click thing to horses as well as to humans?
Yes, you can do the back click thing to horses as well as humans. I generally manipulate necks of horses and lower backs. You can go into sort of adjusting a few other areas as well. The only area that it can be difficult is their mid-back, just because of their structure. I use a lot of long levers and you can't really do it as well through there. There are a few different ways of doing it, but I find it's most effective through necks and lower backs as well. It's great for pain relief and getting everything moving.
Final question for this month's treatment is, should you stretch your horse's legs before riding them?
I think yes, you should stretch your horse out before riding them. There are lots of different ways of doing it, and different people will say different things. I have a couple of instructional videos of how to do it safely to stretch their front legs, their back legs, and also getting them to lift their back. You just don't want to ever force your horse to do anything, and if you're doing something and you're not sure, then you can always ask your professional, whoever you work with, to show for you. And often I'll have clients send me videos so I can just check that they're doing it correctly for their horse.
That's great. So I'll link down to Claire's stuff below. She has so many videos on how to do so many things for you when you're off the horse, also with your horse, carrot stretches, all of that. So you can follow her social channels below. Thank you so much for our first session. It's been so amazing, and I can't wait to get back on Woody and then to have you here next time and see how much we're starting to improve.
No, it's a pleasure. Lovely to meet you both too.